So here we go. Boys 18s action. England, the home nation, versus Ireland, the old enemy. Leo Oxford. Charlie Samble operating in that far link channel. There is Samble feeding away. Lovely long rip. An easy finish in the end. Stan Wilkinson with an absolute pearl of a ball into Thomas Courts. Stan out of Manchester Foxes. A wonderful player, stamping his authority on this game for the first time of asking.
Yeah, I mean, Wilkinson made that pass look so easy, but it goes without saying it's definitely not. It was just seeing the options and an absolute pill out to the wing. It was amazing.
Yeah, certainly. Pill is the right way to describe it. Ireland, though, with ball in hand, will be looking at get rid of that advantage for England almost instantly. There's Gorman. Morahan. However, illegal play the ball. Turnover. And there's a big emphasis on just going forwards first. Really good first touch. There's Dylan Sharp. Driving hard. And Bingley comes in at acting half. Direct set here from England. George Norton. Checking away to Xavier Conahan. A sweeper platform here for Sharp. There is Sharp driving, looking to rip long, does. Inside ball is good. And George Norton finishes. Loving these attacking sets from England. They're taking the opportunities when they're offered to them. They are clinical. Lovely ball from Dylan Sharp. Tap back play from Waugh. Easy finish in the end for Norton. I mean, how good.
I mean, it all came down to the timing on that one, didn't it? Just no panic, immediate snap back in. Really, really lovely to see. And they're definitely going to want to keep this momentum up throughout the game.
They absolutely are. This boys 18 side is littered with proper talent. This is a side that probably could have done a job at the Open European Championships a few weeks ago in Vichy. And I'm sure that will be the aim for a lot of these boys moving forward. Looking to go through the ranks, get into some open squads. There's certainly the talent in this side to do it, but there's also the talent from an Irish perspective. There's Purser, platforming, 32 short here. And unfortunately, Alex Birrell, not a lot of space to work with for him. It's Purser to Birrell. Purser back to Birrell, and stepping back against the grain. Late pass away to Purser, but stubborn defensive work from Q Tyra.
Birrell's done really well to hold on to that ball in that situation because it would have been easy to panic and offload, and it really wasn't necessary. And they've rewarded for it there.
Absolutely, getting their reward for the good hands, bringing it back to a one-try game. And it's a lovely out ball there from Birrell, and it was Sam Walsh. Again, running with the ball in two hands, getting on the outside of Liam Lawton, fixing defenders, going and executing. 2-1. There's Oxford. Wilkinson. Sharp. Oh, this pod's just gotten more terrifying with Dylan Sharp added to it. There's Stan Wilkinson just taking the settler. Oxford. Sharp. Oxford, left foot step, looking to dive hard at the line. Referees are happy with that. Great defensive touch coming in from Alfie Willis. However, it doesn't stop the English onslaught for all too long. Thomas Courts now with a brace. This near corner is well, it's happy hunting for England.
It really is. They're looking very dangerous out there, and I wonder whether the Ireland team are going to spot that and try and really push in on this side, and in return will England retaliate and go the other way. But it'll be interesting to see how each team responds to the plays that are happening.
It's Courts with a brace, Dylan Sharp with a lovely pill out there. Also got to go get the ball back. Just an extra bit of running for George Norton. Not like he's done enough already. And then they will also get an advance of 10 metres for not bringing the ball back. A tap restart here for Ireland. There's Morahan. Darcy. O'Neill. Morahan. Back to O'Neill. Right-handed long ball, looking to find that wing. It's certainly the right option. Amara Batsaya is in quite a lot of space over on that far side. Unfortunately, that one just drifting forward, but it's the right read from Ireland.
Oh, 100%. They did really well to crowd the defence there and keep them really clustered in the centre and then create the overlap of the 3-on-2 on the left side. So definitely want to see more of that from Ireland.
Conaghan, Norton, the air of a forward pass about that one. Referees are happy to let it go. There's Bingley. We're just taking a moment. There's Ollie Graham. There's Bingley. There's Graham picking against the grain. Ripping a flat pass into the link channel. Norton has a bit of work to do. Conaghan to Norton. That's 6 and change just when England started to get going. Running out of touches to use.
Yeah, but something that is really impressing me about this England side is their recovery. If something doesn't work, they'll reassess with no questions asked really and go straight into the next play, which is going to be such an advantage for them because they're just going to keep catching the Ireland side off guard.
Absolutely. I wonder if there's... I assume there's not even a temptation to sub at this stage from this pod. They'll be backing themselves to get over. There's Conaghan and Norton. Dangerous middle pairing. There is Xavier Conaghan feeding to George Norton. Ball on the floor for a little bit too long. Ireland gets set in defence. Bingley in this near side link not being used at the moment. There is Conaghan. They're going to feed that late wrap away. Referees are happy. Dom Short, the on-field ref, just taking a look at the Irish defence. Sideline ref gives him the thumbs up, ready to go. Conaghan, Norton, sweeping platform here. No touch made. Really wise movement of the ball from Xavier Conaghan. Norton. Really nice stuff here from England, looking to get on this link punish. There's exactly that. Xavier Conaghan. That is just wonderful. Attacking setup play, manipulating the Irish defence. It's like Xavier Conaghan was the puppet master and the Irish defence were at his beckoning. That was wonderful stuff from Conaghan.
It was beautiful. I mean, he had him in the palm of his hand there. They were doing everything he needed them to do, ready to set up. One thing wouldn't work, straight to the other side. It was, yeah, you couldn't fault that at all. No,
and again, under 18s playing in such a way that is... If you'd have said to me a few years ago that this would be the standard of the boys 18 side at a Euros, I would have said I'd love to believe you. I'd love to believe you, but this is the reality that we're living in. This side is terrifying. There's Tyra, Lawton. Lovely rip into Tom Davies. Davies with a left-handed pill into the corner. Was ball down. The great covering touch by Amariah Batzaya. Lawton finding himself in the link channel now, coming into the middles. No touch made. Liam Lawton accelerating away, feeding over into the wing. Thomas Courts was waiting for another score, this time in the far corner, but they'll get a fresh set of 6. Ireland have got to tighten up a little bit defensively, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, it's really tricky to say from our perspective because we can't quite put into words how good the England attack is here. Ireland are really, really giving it everything they've got, and it's just at the minute not quite good enough to fend off the English attacking side, but they're definitely improving already. They're starting to see what is happening and improving on it. Absolutely.
I think what's really interesting as well is the current attacking structures from England are sporadic, to say the least. There's not, they're not only using sweepers, not only using quickies. They're using a little bit of everything, and it's leaving Ireland guessing as Liam Lawson throws the extra pass. Easy finish in the corner, and that is Gabe Martin with the finish. And another player out of Horsham representing here at England, the European Youth Championships. But lovely catch and pass from Liam Lawton. Lovely identification from Davies. There's so much to like about these attacking sets from England, and it almost leaves me feeling that Ireland have got to have a perfect game to try and wrestle control back away from England.
Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, just seeing the fact that we've gone from wing to wing for an attempted score to an actual score within about 2 touches, it just shows the standard they're playing at, and there's only so much that can be done in defence against that on the line. But yeah, as you say, Ireland are really going to have to bring out their best touch to compete here.
Yeah, and they're currently having to go down this wing channel. That's 5th touch, just losing track of the touch count. There's Gorman. I think they're just saying, kill the ball over in that far corner, make England go full length. England waste no time with the turnover. And look at the way that they reset the depth. What a wonderful bit of play that is. It's straight out of the England men's Opens playbook. There's Theo Oxford. There's second touch, bang on halfway. Stan Wilkinson following in suit. This is terrifying stuff from this boys 18s. Unfortunately, a blast of the referee's whistle will bring that one to a close. Fresh set here. This team is just absolutely phenomenal. You see Connahan on the out ball, 32 long, ripping long, finding Warp. What a take that is. Oh my word, Thomas Courts with an unreal catch and finish. This replay is going to be diabolical to see.
Genuinely, what can you do about that?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That is absolutely horrible.
There's nothing I could say that could even remotely live up to what's just happened. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything. We had some singing, some chanting, some dancing in the sub box, and some magic on the pitch. 10 minutes into this game, this is absolutely flown by, and England have already got 6. Here's Purser. And Ireland's just losing that ball. Louis Chambers trying to make something happen. Unable to do so on this occasion. Q Tyra, cannonball, dump. Thomas Davies, late release away to Dylan Sharp. Dylan Sharp finding the hands to Liam Lawton. Liam Lawton throws the dummy, then feeds the man on the outside, just taking a settler. Early roll ball here for William Wart. Lawton gets in an acting half. Dylan Sharp staying on the field, feeding away towards Oxford. Lawton and Sharp playing together now in the midfield. Oxford, though, still with the ball, looking to get on this link punish. Does exactly that. Oxford diving at the line. Oxford potentially scoring. And the blast of the referee's whistle denies Oxford the score, but he will get a fresh set of 6. The turnover speed is furious.
It really is. I mean, that was an incredible chase from Ireland there, but they didn't have time to even remotely recover from that because England is straight back into it.
Sharp, Lawton, Oxford in motion. There is Oxford, right foot step, diving at the line. Purser with a really good touch. You've got Eli Bingley over on that far link as well, not being used as of yet, but lingering in a dangerous area. Lawton on the sweeper play. Step back option is available. Lawton instead just shovels it long. It's well taken, well finished. That's Gabe Martin. And that's 7.
Ball skills are fantastic, but I mean, credit to the Irish defence there. England are having to look out wide to their wingers to score because Ireland are shutting down their middle channels, which they really need to be looking to do. So they shouldn't take too much of a hit from the fact that England are scoring very much on the wing a lot of the time.
No, it's the one area of the pitch, it sounds counterintuitive, but you're kind of happy that scores are going in on the wing.
Yeah.
If scores going in middle, then you're worried and there's something quite wrong. Whereas if you're restricting England to go to the wing, you are just restricting them to the hardest possible option. England are just executing, and there is no shame in that, especially when Ireland look to go and finish on the wing themselves. Unfortunately, though, Max Corbett couldn't get the ball down before Gabe Martin flew across to make a good defensive touch. Again, Gabe Martin, absolutely rapid. Covers the ground so effectively. And Ireland has 6 and change. Again, look at the way England reset the depth.
Ireland are doing very well here at trying to foster England mistakes, so they're always burning that ball away from the England sub-box to really just try and put some pressure in defence and have mistakes happen.
That's a lovely step. And Ireland probably fall on the fortunate side of the referee's whistle there, but they will take what they can. It's already been rolled, but we go again. England's put on the defensive pressure. Ireland will be looking to get their second score on the board. 6 minutes left to go in this half. Feels like an important moment here. Lovely bit of acceleration. Great dummy as well. There's not a lot of support there, though. Finn Maguire. Looks like a bright spark in this team. Finds himself in the link channel. There's Willis. Opens so quickly here. Riley Willis. Lovely left-handed long ball. Not a lot of space over there to work with. Patrick Carey was trying to get the wing tap back. There's tap penalty here for Ireland. There's Maguire. Alfie Willis. Quickie play here for Maguire, trying to dive at the line, but England getting off that try line to make good touches.
I think Ireland will be looking to do something a bit unpredictable here. I mean, they've tried out to the wing a couple of times. It's not quite working for them. So a change of play might benefit them here.
Agreed. 32 short. Link has gone early. You can hear the calls from the referees. There's his second penalty in the set. One more penalty and someone will go to the bin for the rest of the Irish possession. 32 short here again. Lovely drive. That might be try time. think Dom Shaw looks like he's relatively happy. I think the sideline ref probably looked to agree. Touch given. Really felt like Dom Shaw was going to give that score there. All the hand signals look pretty good, but Ireland keep knocking on the door anyway. Looking to rip long, lovely dummy and dive. That one is the score. And that is beautiful stuff.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable read of defence there. They saw that the link was sniping up and immediately went the other way to avoid any kind of interception. Beautiful.
Yeah, Maguire is a bright spark in this team. What a dummy that was. Almost took our cameramen for a walk as well. And dives over, fixes the English defence. It's the Irish getting over again for their second score. Five try game now. Here's Oxford, Samble, Lawton. Driving, stepping, Lawton feeding, Oxford.
Right place, right time.
I mean, it was so fast, couldn't really say anything else. What a wonderful bit of play this is. Oxford just finds himself in a dangerous area. Lawton picks the right option. Again, it looks so good, but it's so simple. It's just run exquisitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are making it look exceptionally easy. And I mean, we both know it's definitely not. When you're up there and you're the one making the decisions, it is not as easy as they're making it out to be, but that just shows the class of this side.
No, it is horrible being out there, actually, especially in the heat, trying to make decisions, and you've got people shouting at you, telling you you've done it wrong. Well, at least that was my experience anyway. Ireland driving hard the line. It's tough defensive work for George Norton. He stays wise to the task. Fifth touch, nothing else available to Ireland. Again, killing it over in that far corner. I mean, really impressed by the way England just set this depth every single time. Draw and pass, 2-on-1s available always. And now there's a foot race around the outside. It's Perso who comes across to make the touch, but that is second touch taken on the Irish 10.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do about it? You know, you've just got to try and play what's ahead of you. And when you're playing England, you really don't know what is going to be ahead of you because they're so unpredictable. So they're doing a really valiant job at trying to just keep them at bay.
Oh, absolutely. There's Tyra. Just steadying the ship for a moment. Dylan Sharp now in an acting half. Quinton Tyra looking to rip along. My word, that was almost taken superbly. But it was taken by Irish hands. It was Max Corbett who picks it off. That's touch 0. So first coming now on the 10-metre line. Golden opportunity here for Ireland to potentially get another score on the board in the latter stages of this first half. However, second and third touch are taken in the same area of the field, and fourth is not in English territory yet. Need a little bit more go forward.
Looking a little bit bunched there, Ireland. They could do with getting their width back.
It's fifth now. And Maguire is trying to create something down that short side. I would love to see Ireland at this stage of the game potentially look to just, you know, on that fifth touch, veer away from just killing it over on that box side. It was, you know, it's a tactic built out of trying to restrict England, but because England have the lead already, I think you'd rather them have a go on fifth.
Yeah, you've got to start taking risks, and we know they've all got incredible ball skills, and they've got that pass on them. So just getting ball through hands and seeing what you can make.
Yeah, good roll ball there from Q Tyra, and then Liam Lawton feeding over towards Theo Oxford, and Oxford just glides through the Irish line. There is Oxford. And Lawton telling him, go get in the middle, son. Wilkinson back in towards Oxford. Oxford back to Stan Wilkinson. Stan Wilkinson with the open side quickie. Oxford picking against the grain, dummying, getting into the in-goal area, connecting with Stan Wilkinson. This combination, I feel, could be one of the more dangerous ones out of any team that we have here at the Youth Euro. Stan Wilkinson, Theo Oxford, and Liam Lawton and Charlie Samble. I mean, that is a terrifying prospect.
They're just looking absolutely unstoppable. I mean, you stop them in one direction and they'll just go the other. There's really so little that Ireland can do to try and stop these guys.
Yeah, they are just... what I really find impressive about this team is the way that they manipulate the ball but stay so connected. And you see some teams, you know, give that ball away and you know, look for these late checks, but then they're not realigning, they're not viable options, whereas England are really pushing and pulling Ireland around, but still having 5 viable options off the ball, and that is a really tricky thing.
Yeah, 100%. It's very easy to look scrappy in this kind of a situation, and they just don't have that at all. They look so in control the whole time, and it's just not wavered at all in this entire half.
I completely agree, and coaches Josh Henderson, Adam Brimlow and Carly Brimlow will be extremely happy with their boys 18's performance. Half time here. England 9, Ireland 2. So welcome back, second half underway. England 18s with a commanding lead over Ireland 18s. And Lexi, it's an uphill battle, isn't it, for Ireland at the moment? But they've got the core skills to do it. I just feel England have a little bit too much in this game.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, it's always really tough when you're in a position when you're trying to make a comeback, because it's very easy to get flustered and quite frustrated because you know you're not winning. But they do have the foundations. They just need to strip it back to what they know and beat England at their own game, really. Yeah,
absolutely. I think as well from Ireland, there's a very familiar Irish DNA in touch, which is you run really, really, really hard at people, and you condition people to be as honest as humanly possible. And you've seen that from Irish touch for years now. And I think what I'd really love to see from this boys 18s is a bit more go forward, be a little bit more punchy in your carries, and to see where the referees are happy with from a physicality perspective, and sort of capitalise off the back of it. Again, micro targets, little things. This attacking set here could come to fruition for Ireland, and they would really need it in the state that they find themselves in, especially considering how the rest of the game might be going. That was a lovely bit of endeavour, slapped down by the far wing.
They're very well defended there, but they're going to love being able to set this up again from the start.
Late pass away, just finding the floor. So turnover, in fact, I think it's going to be given a touch and pass. So turnover here for Samble, Wilkinson, Oxford and co. This is really nice stuff. There's Wilkinson and Samble. Brilliant foot speed, nice step as well from Eli Bingley. Unfortunately, though, that one couldn't quite be taken with Ollie Graham. They won't be too disappointed with that. Gives them an opportunity to put on the defensive nudge. That touch was a little bit firm, and I think well spotted from the referees. We had a really good angle of that.
Yeah, we did. No, it was very unlucky with that latch run from the Graham there. He had so much momentum, just didn't quite get the ball in hand. But now they're having to turn attack into defence, and that's something they're really strong at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, I mean, my favourite part of this performance from England so far has been watching them realign when they force the turnover. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen again, potentially.
It's like a well-oiled machine, isn't it?
It is. And I think it's so England touch coded. I think for such a long time, England didn't really have like a DNA, and every team sort of operated differently. Whereas actually what you're seeing now is through all age categories, all teams, all gender categories, they've all got the same DNA. Fast turnovers, run really deep, have a go. If it comes off, it comes off.
Yeah, it's odd. It feels very contrary to say, but they're almost predictably unpredictable, and it works for them every single time because you just don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to do it well.
Yeah, it's so true. You know that they are going to do it well. Again, going from wing to wing, Xavier Conahan getting his head down, Norton carrying well. Graham, no mistake this time from Graham, and as a foot race, late ball back away towards Graham, who takes the left foot step and gets the ball down cleanly. How wonderful was that? Samble.
It seems as though they're just trying to run Ireland out of gas already. They're just getting them from wing to wing.
Yeah, absolutely. Quinton Tyra, dummying, straightening, trying to escape through. Alex Birrell. He's been brilliant, actually, for Ireland. We've spoken a lot about England because they are playing some spectacular rugby, but I really like the look of Alex Birrell wearing number 1. I think he's been a really positive moment.
Yeah, I have to agree. Both in attack and defence, he's been a really strong player for them.
And Tom Davies looking to connect back with Charlie Samble. It's that out to in line that they like to run. There's Davies, Liam Lawton at his link. Here is Lawton, positioning now in an acting half. Skip pass over towards Lawton, now at middle. Quinton Tyra fitting over towards Samble. Samble back to Lawton. Lawton to Davies. This is dangerous stuff. Again, it's this manipulation of the defensive line. Lexi stood to my right-hand side, shaking her head. It's beyond belief, the cohesiveness of this team, that they can move from width to width. And just, we saw that try coming 3 passes before it even happened, because we've seen it before.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't in that hole to that player, it was always going to be to someone with a massive gap. They're just that good at getting Ireland to be exactly where they want them to be in order to execute.
It's a terrifying thing. It really is a terrifying thing. It's John Gorman in 15. The nice carry again. Here is Gorman. The doggies platform just picking up the wrong way, unfortunately, for Matthew Darcy. There's Neil. This is 5th touch, nothing else remaining. And that is 6 and change. And again, The English defensive line reset into their attacking structure, and Oxford takes the straightener up the middle. Sharp, late pass over towards Oxford. Oxford with the skip pass over the top to the wing. That was a little bit feisty coming in from the Irish link, matching up the physicality. Going to be mindful of that moving forward. You don't want things to progress beyond an acceptable level. There's Conahan platforming, Samble, splitter. Oh, Norton couldn't quite take that one with him.
That is so unlucky. That was absolutely on for them there, so Ireland have got away with one there.
There's Conahan getting up, making good touches. Samble holds up Morahan. There's Gorman as well. And does an exceptional job, does Dean Phillips, to not lose control of that ball.
Back to the original mark there. Couldn't quite get away with the roll being the position of the touch.
Honestly, if someone does a forward roll and maintains control of the ball, you let them roll it whenever they want to. That's a great bit of pace on display. There's Finn Maguire escaping through, connecting with his support. And Finn Maguire, he's had one, he's assisted another. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, it was fantastic. He saw the gap from a mile off and had the pace to back it up. It was really great to see.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Almost happy that he didn't let and take the roll ball from wherever he liked. Otherwise, Finn Maguire wouldn't have just sighed through the English defence. Davies. Tyra, late wrap away towards Dylan Sharp. Sharp now to Lawton. Lawton, who, in my opinion, never really looks like he's running that fast, but just all of a sudden becomes lightning quick. He's a very nonchalant sprinter, is Liam Lawton. Here's Q Tyra. Sharp, dummying, picking up against the grain, looking for the late pass over towards Tom Davies. There was something Rory Fulton-esque about that attempt from Tom Davies. If you were watching Vichy last week, you would have seen Rory Fulton's spectacular finish, jumping and grounding in that link channel that got the nominated try of the tournament, well, the fan-nominated try of the tournament.
Yeah, I think Sharp could have benefited from some time in the try zone then, because he was easily through on that break. He just needed to look for his options a little bit more before panicking with that pass, and it would have really benefited.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dylan Sharp and Tom Davies know each other through and through. I'm sure Tom Davies has said, lad, just hold on to that. I'll be there. Don't worry. But England won't mind it all too much. There's Liam Lawton. There is Sharp. Lawton again, who just purrs through the ground in front of him. Never really looks like he's doing all too much. That seems like a really easy penalty to give away. Unfortunately for Ethan O'Neill, that was yeah, it was telegraphed a little bit. There was an arm, there was a leg, and then a blast of the referee's whistle. Fresh set of 6 here for England. Oxford. Wilkinson. Samble. Link punish here for Charlie Samble, and Samble gets his score.
Yeah, they're so good at just spotting where the Irish players are or where they should be and aren't, and they just really utilise that.
Yeah, I think, you know, for my mind, in line attack, England have very rarely made a misread. They've stayed so disciplined and so accurate, and I think that's the thing that's just separating these two teams at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they change their play based on the defensive patterns that they're seeing ahead of them, which is such a hard skill to muster, and that definitely just comes with practice. That is not something that's inbuilt. You just have to know what to look for, and that's perhaps what's setting them apart a little bit. They're able to read that faster than Ireland are.
Absolutely. Willis, they're going to create scoring opportunities again for Ireland. There's a nice late check away. Dean Phillips was trying to feed open side, but not a lot doing. There's Wilkinson and Oxford. And Samble on the wrap. Oh, Samble looked for that skip pass to the wing. And right option, not quite executed, but Ireland get an opportunity.
Yeah, that was really well read by Max Corbett from Ireland there. He knew exactly that they wanted to dish that pass, and he was there to shut it down before they could.
Yeah, completely agree. Again, wingers, it's a thankless, thankless job at times, but it's just going to be a roll ball restart. I think Dom Shaw just saying, look, physicality is getting a bit much, lads. In Ireland, line attack opportunity. Well defended initially. Finn Maguire, who's certainly had England's number. Here's Maguire, fakes to go long, checks back against the grain. Here is Maguire once more. They don't want to lose out on the 7. That roll ball was taken bang on the 7, to be fair, but those hands leave a little bit to be desired. That was a tricky pass to take in stride, but again, England waste no time in turning the ball back over.
Yeah, not making the same mistake as last time. They got that dish off early, so there was no one there to shut it down.
What a roll ball that is from Stan Wilkinson, by the way. 3 players in and around him, all trying to knock him off the ball. And what a brilliant cannonball dump that was. There's Conahan. Lawton in an acting half. Split a platform here. Lovely step, lovely score. And Norton with a great finish off the back of the splitter. But Liam Lawton and Xavier Conahan just pulling strings.
That splitter platform is such a nightmare to have to defend. Even if you know it's coming, you can't quite predict exactly where that player is going to come from. So it is a really, really key play for them here.
I think as well, it's the fact that they're you know, there's like 4 or 5 viable options off the back of that splitter play. It's really tricky, and I know that a lot of teams now, especially like a lot of English teams, are trying to set it up so it looks quite similar to a 32, and then you split separately. So there's a bit of guile about it as well. I mean, I'm glad I stopped playing before it came in. I've not got the IQ to deal with that. That's for certain.
There's so many aspects to it that are really important. As that dumper, you need to split hard, so there's enough space for that splitter to run through. So everyone involved in the play is crucial for its success.
Yeah, certainly. Right. Again, for a boys 18s to be running structure like this, so effectively, that's so complicated, it is absolutely wild, and there's a foot race on. That's a brilliant touch again. It's our man Max Corbett, who is probably putting his hat in the ring for player of the match from an Irish perspective. Very little mistakes from Corbett.
Yeah, he's been a star both defensively and in attack. He's a really crucial member to their squad here.
There's Oxford, Wilkinson. A sweeper platform here for Graham. Here is Graham looking to rip long, but just caught by Sam Walsh. And that'll be your 6 touch and turnover. Good defensive set there from Ireland.
Yeah, I have to agree, and England won't like the fact that they've given the ball over on that side, because it will make the subset a lot easier for Ireland. And they'll know they've made that as a bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, so then that sort of kicks them into gear to potentially turn the ball over, which they've done exactly that. It's an off-the-mark penalty. And Samble and Graham just want to go quickly. Here is Charlie Samble, Ollie Graham. Here's Wilkinson, platforming here for the sweep and platform, instead just backing out and positioning into this link channel.
Something I'm loving to see from both squads here actually is there's not one vocal about the right play.
They're also and there's Wilkinson, link finish here. Wilkinson driving, diving, scoring. Although I think the referees have deemed for him to have lost control of that ball, but penalty here for offside anyway. Wilkinson. Samble. Link punish here for Charlie Samble, diving. A wing with a brilliant touch. Amara Batsaya. Samble again. And this time checking away towards Oxford. Theo Oxford positioning himself bang on that 7-metre line. Open side quickie here for Theo Oxford. Right foot step. Look to feed back to Samble. That was Charlie Samble, I'd be saying, come on, mate. I was in so much space.
Dish back to Ollie Graham would have been great there for him as well. He was in so much space.
It's the second penalty, though. One more, and an Irish player will go to the bin for the rest of the possession. Stan Wilkinson, fire-up options, Theo Oxford. They won't need the other penalty. And you could sort of feel it coming. They conditioned that link. They were tight. The Ireland were crabbing over, trying to defend the threat of Charlie Samble, and Stan Wilkinson just says, no, here's the fire-up option, and Theo Oxford's going to walk through.
Yeah, and it's the classic strategic move of always targeting one player to then go a completely different way. So they think they know what's coming, and in fact they do not, and the score is in. So yeah, very unlucky there, but great play from England.
It is. It is. And I suppose a nice encapsulation of what's been so impressive about this boys 18's performance. This manipulation of the ball, this manipulation of space. It's a team playing way beyond their years. They're you know, on paper, they should be a team that's still developing, and yet when playing against their team, almost unmatched. It's a great pass for 2. There's Willis. Batsaya couldn't quite finish. Good defensive pressure. Ireland have got a little bit of work to do. There's Maguire. Platforming. Diving or Ireland. Good defensive touch from Xavier Conahan. Willis. Maguire. Back to Willis. 32 short, but just losing a little bit of cohesiveness. Back into this 32 platform. There is Maguire looking to dive at the line or release early. In the end, England's defensive pressure just doing enough to really frustrate Ireland. And I wonder, there's not really too much more that Ireland can do on paper. It's maybe just the momentum that they're attacking with that's the difference maker.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, defensively particularly, they're looking very strong, because there is only so much that can be done against a side this strong. But they're definitely going to want this turnover here, and they're going to want to try and get there as quickly as possible.
There's first touch. And Maguire and Willis again operating in the middles. There is Willis. Nice pass back to Maguire. Really nice interplay, and then a little bit of a tumble from Willis. Nothing doing. The refs are pretty happy. Maguire. And England doing a good job at taking the 7 away from Ireland. A little bit stop-start, need a bit more momentum. There was a nice link hole, but
just lacking a little bit of bite there from Ireland. They need to commit to a particular move. If it doesn't work, try something else. I think this whole hesitation is really not in their favour here. Yeah,
it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because, you know, whether you pick the right or wrong option is kind of a moot point at this stage. You just want to pick an option and have all players on the pitch commit to it. Whether it's right for what the defence are doing or not, it doesn't really matter. You just want to have a little bit more cohesiveness.
Yeah, because when you're coming against a side who are just an absolute brick wall in defence, you really need to try and throw everything at it. And by trying to hone in on the correct thing to do, they're not doing anything. So they could really do with having one person to decide and say, right, we're going to run this and see what happens from it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And England almost going width to width and scoring in the far corner. That last pass just not quite happening. And the pace of this game has just boiled down a little bit. From your perspective, is there anything that's really stood out from you about this England performance?
I think it's just the cohesiveness of the team. Every time that your team is only as strong as your weakest link, and they just don't appear to have one. They're all so in this together. They're well drilled. They know exactly what they're doing, and there's no hesitation. And that's what's incredible to me. They can just look up and see and run it. Which is really hard to do at any level, let alone at an 18s level. They're together realistically for that long, but it feels like it's been decades almost, because they're so well drilled and they're always doing something.
And I think your point is really made even more clear by the fact that Graham is just going to fly all the way through and score, and we are 39 minutes into this game. We have almost played an entire full game, and the pace of England has not stopped. They've still, and not only that, but the cognitive awareness and the cognitive load that's going to be on boys, under 18s, juniors, to be able to play this style of rugby for 40 minutes in the baking heat. That's so impressive.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they've not even sweat. It's just completely unfazed. They know what they're doing, and they know they can do it well, and it's that confidence that is really carrying them through this game.
There's a really nice strike them here for Ireland. They'd love to finish this game with another score in their tally. Penalty instead.
I mean, the fact that we're going from 7-7 with no time left shows how much both sides just want to do well for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bit of pride about this performance from both sides of the ball. Ireland have got all of the core skills to really do something quite special in this category. Unfortunately, though, they're just maybe lacking these 1-2% changes that can really, change a team and change a way that they play.
but they've got so much potential and they can learn so much from this.
Especially for a team that is so young. Well, that is full time. However, it's not full time. There's a tap penalty, and if I know anything about this England side, they'll be wanting to go full length. And Wilkinson looks to guide through a potential offside player, takes the touch, brings up full time. And what a commanding performance that was. 14 tries to 3 in favour of England. Sum it up for us, Lexi. That was an amazing performance.
Absolutely textbook. I mean, that's all I can really say about this. They just did not put a foot wrong for the whole 40 minutes of this game, and Ireland could not catch them napping, which would have probably been their only way in here. But yeah, a truly admirable performance there from both sides.
An absolute scorcher of a game here on pitch 1, and there should be another scorcher up for you right after this. It's the same teams, England versus Ireland, but this time in the mixed 20s division, and I'll be with you shortly.